Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I don't know if anybody is watching right now. I will check to make sure if anybody is. All right, right now, 0 people are watching. Although we have one waiting, we have 2 likes apparently. So maybe, nope, 0 people are watching. But oh well. Well, while we have 0 people watching, I will play around with the screen and check out that whole scene. And thank you guys for watching. So it says I'm going live. I'm trying to figure out how to just one person watching. That's me. Cool. Okay. So, oh, hey, CC, what's up? My most loyal fan. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for chiming in. All right, we got 3 people watching now. Hey, Dodge, Wesley. I figured at least if I get nobody else, I will get Wesley. And this is just worth it just to do it for Wesley. So, and CC as well. So, got to notice we are here. All right, we got 5 people. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hey, Ariel, how are you? We got more than 5 people. This is cool. We got a little contingent. I am doing well. We are covering the results of Super Tuesday. And I'm also figuring out how to share the screen. And how to have, if anybody knows, because I'm tech illiterate, if anybody knows how to, I know how to make the screen visible, but then I go off. So I want to try to make it one-on-one. But first, I think what we need to do while we have 7 people watching is take a look at the initial results that have just come in and try to analyze it. So biggest news of surprise, surprise, Trump wins the Virginia primary. So let's take a look at Virginia. I figure I wanted to start at 7:30 because that's where we get the first tangible results. So right now, already off to a pretty bad start. If you can see those results here, Trump at 64% almost, Nikki Haley at 34%, with about a third of the vote in. So let's talk about Virginia quickly and why this is already starting out to be a pretty bad night for Haley. So Virginia, in the host of states that have Super Tuesday that are hosting this election, Virginia is one of the most important and one of the biggest. Because it lies in the DC suburbs, or a significant amount of it lies in the DC suburbs, and because it has more progressive cities like Virginia Beach and Richmond, you would expect Nikki Haley to do quite well, to at least get 40% of the vote. And I'm thinking, when I'm looking at expectations for how is Nikki Haley doing, could she consistently, it's not will she win? I don't think she's going to win. But if she wants to fight until the next primary in Georgia, and I'm in Georgia now, so we'll be there. If she wants to fight in the next primary, she has to get at least consistently 30% to 40% of the vote across the board. Right now, she's not even cracking 30%. So we're going to take a look at her screen again and take a look at the Virginia primary results. It's been updated. So this is bad, man. 29%. If you're a Haley fan, this is bad. 64% for Trump. Well, actually not. Well, this is bad because this is the state where she should be getting at least 45%. So right now, Nikki Haley is 34% and Trump has 64%. So if we get a third of the vote in, that usually means that is probably what the result is going to be, like plus or minus 5 or 6 points. So Haley was probably hoping to get at least 40 to 45% in Virginia. Virginia was expected to be a very favorable state for her. So the fact that she's doing that poorly is not good. So let me see if I could share 2 screens at once and how that works. Sorry, guys, bear with me for one moment. Add to stage. Okay, so we could do this. Cool. And then what happens? Okay, so we could toggle. This is cool. All right, so this is fairly easy. So let's take a look at some of the other results. Sorry, guys, and I will have a go-to. Don't worry, we'll figure this out. And let's see. And if you want to check out how the Democrats are doing for any of the Marianne, Williamson, or Dean Phillips fans, or for any of the Biden fans. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll analyze it as well. Biden at 87%. Marianne Williamson. Hey, Marianne Williamson at a very respectable 8.5%. If you're able, you can't see that yet. How do you not see this? Yeesh. You know what I want. Yeah, I do. Well, I'm delivering it to you. As long as I could try to switch the damn I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to try to share again. So, I'm going to keep it on this one. And now I'm going to try to share the screen. Sorry, guys. Share screen. There we go. Okay. This is the right one I want to share. And we're good. Okay. So right now, if you look at these results, Marianne Williamson doing quite respectably. If you think about it, we could, reload this again if you want. 87.8%. Marianne Williamson, again, a very respectable, almost 9%. Dean Phillips, it's interesting, man. Dean Phillips has to drop out. Dean Phillips keeps finishing below Marianne Williamson. And it's so funny because Phillips raised a boatload. Thank you, Linda. No need to apologize. Happy to get to reporting. Yeah, well, I've been around the block. Dean Phillips, I appreciate you watching. Dean Phillips raised a boatload of money. Dean Phillips raised Actually, let's look at how much Dean Phillips has raised compared to Marianne Williamson. Because I know it's at least 10 times. So let's, for example, 1 million, give or take, in 1 quarter. And you can't even see the numbers. I bet they're not high. I'm going to guess she probably raised around 200,000. But but in addition to all the money that Dean Phillips has, he also had a super PAC that was spending money. So they were in New Hampshire. They were spending at least $3 to $4 million. Marianne Williamson did not have that. And this PAC is still spending in subsequent states. So clearly the alternative to Biden is Marianne Williamson. And this is, if you're watching for me, we're not going to ignore the Democratic Party because you'll find some nuggets. And looking at Virginia, 8.5%, 8.3 now, but still very good for Marianne Williamson. Let's see if that changes. It's 20% reporting. So that certainly might. 20%, you don't necessarily get a clear picture. You get a clear picture when it's about 30 to 33%, but pretty respectable. And looking at, and guys, tell me if you could see me switch. Okay, so I would keep it that one. So looking at Politico, let's look at Iowa and see what that is where that is happening. 90%, much worse. 90%. So in Iowa, this is bad news for Marianne Williamson. And is it even worse for Dean? And really bad news for Marianne Williamson because Dean Phillips is at about 3% to Marianne's 2. So a bad so far in Iowa. And those are the results. Those are 97%. That's 97% of the vote being reported in. So Marianne Williamson had a bad night in Iowa. Let's look at what other states we want to take a look at. They're really kind of rolling on. A few of them have already rolled in. Most of them will probably roll in by 8 p.m., give or take. So cool. We have 10 people watching. This is good. Two's nothing. Three's a company. Whatever. Two's a company. Three's a crowd. And let's go to the New York Times to see if they have kind of everything in a row, which would be nice. Let's see. Select a state. Well, just give me a damn state, man. Full results. Well, give me the results that are already there, dude. Okay, North Carolina is only 1% of the vote. Okay, so we could look at this. Not a lot. We mainly talked about the main things that were interesting. Vermont, we could talk about Vermont. There's about eight. Well, all right. So here's interesting. One interesting thing Texas won't come in, I think, Wesley, for because remember there's a 2-hour time difference. So I believe they close at 8, which means they would close at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we have about 2 hours. Texas is going to be big. Texas also has some interesting congressional races, and as well as the primary to challenge Ted Cruz, which has gotten competitive and is pretty interesting. We'll take a look at Vermont for the shits and the gigs. And let's see, where is Vermont? Vermont's right here. All right, Vermont. 8% of the vote in. Nikki Haley has a fighting chance. Nikki Haley versus, but I hate the New York Times because they're silencing the Democratic Party, so I can't see the Democratic results. But we'll talk about Vermont for a second because Vermont is an interesting sign. I mean, I think what Haley really wants to do is say, "Hey, I won 3 states. That's it. That's all she needs to say." If she wants to continue, she has a super PAC that wants to get her to continue the race no matter what, probably into Georgia. If Nikki Haley loses each and every single state, I think she drops out. If she wins 2, maybe even 1, she will say that she has an impetus to stay in. I don't know if it's an accurate impetus, but that's what the Haley campaign is saying. I think internally they're looking to say, all right, we've already won Washington, D.C., even though that means nothing. And if we win Vermont, so right now with 8% of the vote in, Vermont is looking actually pretty good for Haley. And 9% of the vote in. Haley's at 49 to 47. So Haley is hoping that in these very liberal states that are voting in the primary, the polls right now have even the liberal states, New York, for example, which comes later on, some other bigger ones, voting for Trump. Vermont, Trump was actually way ahead of Nikki Haley in that last poll. I think Trump was ahead about 15 points. So right now, Haley is beating Trump in Vermont. So she has a few gasps for air. And let's see if we're going to share the screen to take a look at what the Vermont full screen. Can you guys see one screen or 2 screens right now? Full screen. I don't want, whatever. This sucks. I'm an idiot when it comes to, oh, there we go. Okay. So just like that, Haley got the big win in DC. Yes, she did. So we'll take a look to see if anything else is updated. And guys, I'm going to turn the television on. Just in case a candidate goes to speak. And then, of course, we'll watch the candidates' speeches online. But I'm going to look at CNN or Fox because my theory is that Nikki Haley might want to go in super early if she's having a bad night. So I'm going to keep it glued to the TV. And also I could verbally say you the results as well as looking them up. So I'm flipping through the channel now. Yeah, so Haley might get 1. Let's see. Let's look at some of the other states, see if anything's come in. Virginia, again, is looking bad for Haley. 31% of the vote. Haley, again, wanted to get probably about 40%. It's still possible with 41% of the vote in. With 31% of the vote in, but it's not looking good. And again, Virginia was a state that Haley wanted to do particularly well in. So not looking good for Haley. Do we have Maine? No, we have nothing. We were doing this. Well, let's look at let's see if there's any other I think we looked at that's it. I think it's only 2 states, guys. I'm stupid. If it's more than 2 states, let me know. But I think we're at 2 states right now. And then about 12 minutes, we're gonna get the lion's share of the results, I would say. But we do have 2 states, so that's interesting. And I'm trying to see what else. Biden, let's see. Let's look at the headlines, try to analyze some of that. All right, Trump officially wins the North Carolina primary. So let's look at that. North Carolina primary results. Only 1%. This is a bad night for Nikki Haley. It only took 1% of the vote. They only needed 1% of the vote in North Carolina. Polls closed about maybe 30 minutes ago, something like that. And Trump has won. This is the quickest Trump victory I think I've seen. As I recall, in New Hampshire, they called it maybe 30 minutes after the polls closed. So, well, when did time polls close? Because there's only 1% of the vote in. Polls closed in North Carolina when? So I'm going to see, was this the quickest call or not? So I'm going to see what time the polls closed in North Carolina. Not saying. When will the polls open? I should know this before. Well, they're all different in different states. Okay, so 7:30, right. All right. So polls closed in North Carolina at 7:30. That was 20 minutes ago. It took 24 minutes to call South Carolina. It has taken 20 minutes to call North Carolina. So we congratulate Nikki Haley on getting the quickest loss so far of the primary season, of getting the quickest call, the quickest loss so far. Nikki Haley looking not good in North Carolina already. So he's at 50, although right now, I mean, it's this. So these numbers are going to change, guys. We're looking at these numbers. And right now, Trump is at 50% of the vote, Haley at 45. That looks really good. Those numbers are great. But what I surmise is they haven't counted the rural areas, and they've only counted as that these numbers are going to dramatically flip. Because if the race ends up being 50 to 45%, which I don't think it will, then that actually looks quite good for Nikki Haley. But that's not my guess. Is Trump ends up finishing in North Carolina with about 65% of the vote. And Haley campaigned very hard in North Carolina. And again, Charlotte, even though North Carolina, even though North Carolina isn't this progressive, hardcore liberal state, it's more progressive than a lot of the other southern states. And because of Charlotte and Raleigh and the Triangle, there's a lot of young urban professionals. There's also a lot of wealthy country club Republicans disproportionately in the state of North Carolina. So Haley was thinking that North Carolina, she would do very well, but it's already been called. It took only 20 minutes. That's rapid response. So my guess is Trump is going to crush her with about 65% of the vote. And this is better. I'm experimenting with my screens, guys. Let me know which ones you like the best. So we could do this. Can I move this screen? Can I make this bigger? What happened? I don't even know what happened, guys. I do know what happened. I'm just view tab. Leah, let me go back. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's the screen, and then you could look at. I wish there could be like a half screen. Oh, here's more back here. Thank you guys for bearing with me while I figure this whole thing out. Okay, so we could do this, that, or that. This, that, or this. Well, whichever. Okay, so we'll take a look at. We'll refresh the results in North Carolina, see if anything's changed, and let's look at the Democratic primary too, and see what's happening with that. Biden wins 92%. Was she not on the ballot? Yeah, North Carolina might have. Oh, see, okay. So notice this, North Carolina. You see that? You're not allowed to get on the DNC did not allow Dean Phillips or Marianne Williamson to even get on the ballot in North Carolina. Yet still 8% voted against Joe Biden. Not bad considering there wasn't an actual candidate. But the no preference is kind of akin to the uncommitted thing, I suppose. But this is an example of the shady tactics that the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, has committed. They've canceled a number of primaries for the Democrats. There's so many that you can't really keep track. Yeah, North Carolina, Cooking and Camping for Hope. Nice to have you in. Yeah, North Carolina did cheat. And they don't. Yeah, you cannot write any. You don't have a write-in option in North Carolina, and you cannot vote for Dean Phillips or Marianne Williamson on the ballot. So North Carolina is one of those. I think there are about 5 or 6 states where they just decided to cancel the primary. So they still formally have a primary because they legally have to, but they are cheating. Yes. Florida. Yes. Famously, Wesley notes that Florida also canceled the primary. Sweet Tea, you're in North Carolina. Very cool. Very cute profile pic, by the way. If you want to add me on Instagram, feel free. DOTGELANTESMAN. I'm always thirsty. Very cool. I was just in North Carolina. Been to Charlotte, been to Raleigh, been to Durham. Saw some family out where what's that really waspy college? Trinity. There's so many wasps. I had to get my swatter. But that was fun. So North Carolina is a great state. Big fan. Where in North Carolina are you from? I've also been to Wilmington and all along the coast over there as well. Cool. We got 18 people watching. So Sweet Tea, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Makes me feel special. See if anything else has come up. Okay, guys, anything new? So we can take a look at what Politico has to say, see if I agree with them. It's what states will we have to watch? Hey, it's Jan from Saturday. Hey, Jan, how are you? Nice to hear you. We rocked it in Chicago. Yes, Jan, nice to hear from you. Really a pleasure meeting you, and thank you. You're one of thank you for cheering me on. As you can notice, my voice is kind of thrown out. That's because I was at a Scientology protest out in Chicago. So met a lot of cool people, and I bet a fair amount of people watching probably found me through my live stream there. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for weighing in. So we'll take a look at right. So the Politico says exactly what I was telling you before. Vermont and Virginia on the early sides, that the two states on the early sides that fit the profile are Vermont and Virginia. So we were already talking about that. And we'll see if Haley could pull off a victory in Vermont. In about an hour from now, we'll see about Minnesota, also more liberal. So that will be one. So she has some hope for Minnesota. And then Maine, we have to see when Maine closes in Massachusetts. So she might have a shot there. Guys, let's take a look at some of the other races as well for Senate, which is interesting. Or is it governor? I don't. Mark K. Robinson. Because there is an interesting, the lieutenant governor, an African-American Republican who's interesting. This is for governor. Okay. So here's another interesting side race to watch, because I think if you're paying attention to politics, you want to pay attention to the stars of tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the North Carolina governor's race. And the reason I say pay attention to the stars of tomorrow is because the GOP is always looking for Black Republicans. Any Black Republican is kind of vaunted into presidential consideration because it makes the party look more diverse. And so watch Mark Robinson potentially be the next superstar of the GOP. A very authoritative figure, really good on the stump. Mark Robinson, unsurprisingly, is probably peeling away with this. Yes, so Josh Stein. We'll talk about Josh Stein, who's also really interesting. Mark Robinson, 58% of the vote. He's the lieutenant governor. Certainly is more hard right. Dale Folwell, I think, was a businessman, maybe slightly more moderate. Bill Graham, I know nothing about. But a comfortable victory for Mark Robinson. So if you're watching this, realize that Mark Robinson, as a Black Republican, if he gets elected governor, will be that next GOP star. You could think of Winsome Earl Sears as one of them. And of course, Tim Scott, before he was appointed to the U.S. Senate. Byron Donalds quickly has a pretty good reputation and is being well known. Republicans are always looking for a good sellout. Yes, well, Robinson is certainly a strong ally of Trump. So to win the guy who won the Democratic primary, Josh Stein, I believe he was a pretty noted lawyer, an interesting guy. So he might be a decent enough candidate where he could actually win, because I think he's like a civil rights attorney and was pretty well known. Oh, he's the attorney general. He was a civil rights attorney, and right. So now he's the attorney general. So pretty qualified guy. So that's going to be a race, I think, that's closer than expected. Take a look at some of the, see if there are any local races. Guys, want to remind me of any congressional races that are of note in the state of Virginia or in the state of North Carolina. And we can take, I'm the main the main non-presidential races that I'm waiting for. North Carolina is interesting to look at. But the one that I was really waiting for is I'm waiting for California, and to see, that's a very competitive, interesting Senate race, because that shows, does the hard left still have the juice? That would be with Barbara Lee or Katie Porter. Or does the establishment Nancy Pelosi Democratic wing of the Democratic Party have influence? That wing is backing Pete Schiff. And is Steve Garvey, who was noted with the Los Angeles Dodgers, will a Republican be able to knock out Katie Porter, where then you would know pretty much Schiff would probably be, although Garvey's a very good candidate, so Garvey might have a shot, especially with the way that crime is going in California. But I'll be watching that. I'll be watching when Texas closed Sheila Jackson Lee, I believe, Sheila Jackson. Sheila Jackson. Sheila Jackson is a very well-known, very Biden establishment kind of hack Democrat. She ran for Houston mayor. Everybody thought she'd win. John Whitmer, who was the more conservative, backed by the police union, although he was a Democrat, he was a state senator, had a surprise win for Houston mayor. Now Lee is getting challenged by somebody who is more conservative, especially who wants to focus on crime and making it easier to arrest for smaller crimes, et cetera, et cetera. So she might get knocked out yet again. So that will be an interesting race to look at in Texas. And then with Colin Allred, who was a former football player, versus Roland Gutierrez, who is a very known, well-known district attorney out in the southern section of Mexico along the border, who has a lot of influence and a lot of experience with I think Allred wins, but both of them are good candidates. So that'll be fun to look at. And guys, if you want to write in the chat any other interesting, notable results, let me know. Yeah, cooking and camping for hope. I like Katie Porter too. Katie Porter's not doing so good because Adam Schiff. Guys, I might order some food. Is it weird if you watch me eat on camera? We only have 14 people watching. I'll show you my dog because I'm thinking maybe we could look at the menu. We have room service here. I finally decided to do a nice hotel. So I was thinking maybe we'll look at the menu and you can help me decide what my dog should eat because I need to order him something as well because he only gets the best. But I will show you the dog. I scared the shit out of my dog because I just spilled my laptop and then it spilled my Diet Coke onto the floor. And so my dog got upset, but this is my dog. Hold on. What up? You got Diet Coke scared him. What do you want to eat? You want a burger? Do you want chicken wings? He wants to lick me. He's licking me. All right, we'll take a look at the menu while we're waiting for the results because we won't have much for it's 8:02, so some new results will come. Dude, eat. Yeah. No, if you're hungry, eat. Yeah. Well, what should I get my dog? I will. I'll just order room service. I wonder if they have a phony here. Who knows? Glad you guys are still watching. I think what do you think? Should I get my dog wings or burger? I'll see where I am. Although I can't say what hotel I am because the Scientology people are watching me. So hopefully you don't see that on my screen. Pardon me. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at the other thing to see what the menu is. Well, whatever. We'll get back to it. We'll look at right now. It's 8:00. I vote burger for the dog. Very cool. I appreciate that, Carrie. Classic Carrie, by the way, gave you a shout out on one of my videos. Burger, chicken wings, no good for name. Yeah, there's an argument that chicken wings aren't good for dogs. Because I found him on the street, I think he has such a strong immune system. He loves chicken wings because he loves anything with a bone. So he'll just eat the bones. Hair's going kind of crazy. But let's look to see if before I order, let's look to see if there are any results. Because we're probably going to be here all night, guys. So I may as well order food at some point. See what else has closed. I hate the format is not that good here. Let's refresh the New York Times. I'm trying to find who has the best format where they just have a list of states and they just show the results. Let's see. All right, here we go. Can you guys see this? So we have a bit of Texas. Oh, no, you can't see it. Yeah, you can. Okay, so we have a bit of Texas coming up. So we'll take a look at what's happening in Texas. Okay, 5% of the vote in, getting killed. Donald Trump at 75% in Texas with only 5%. 5% of the vote in with Nikki Haley, only 20%. But here's an interesting thing. They haven't called Texas yet, which is weird because you think with such a disparate number that they called Texas. Haley might end up doing better than she thought in Texas. Looking at that with only right now, it's very lopsided again, 75-20. Haley might get 30% in Texas. I think that's why they haven't called it. So Haley may have some good news. Take a quick look at North Carolina. Let's see how North Carolina cements. Obviously, so North Carolina also has been called very quickly, 73-24. So Nikki Haley now still doing very poorly with, we were talking about Virginia earlier. We were talking about, can Virginia, because they're a more liberal state and because they have a lot of the Washington, D.C. suburbs, can they be Nikki Haley's saving grace? But right now, man, we have almost half of the votes in. Donald Trump, not even doing respectably, but killing Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley was supposed to do the best. They thought Nikki Haley said she could potentially win Virginia. And right now, with these numbers aren't going to change much, man. Maybe Trump might go down to 62 if Haley is lucky. But Haley needed to get 45% at least in Virginia to say she did respectably. Fingers crossed for all the women in the race. Yeah. Hey, I have a lot of Trump fans here and respect, and I love you guys watching. Personally, I'm pulling for the two women as well. I think Haley, I have a lot of gripes with her, but I think she'd probably make a better president than Trump. And I think she's a good speaker. So I'm pulling for her, although she's having such a bad night. So there's not much to hope for. I'm pulling for Marianne Williamson. Of course, there's no chance that she's going to win, but she is getting some decent numbers in some of these states. So maybe we'll take a look at the Texas primary, speaking of which, for the Democrats. Cenk is on the ballot. Cenk right now is 3%. Look at that. Cenk Uygur. We'll take a look at this, guys. Cenk Uygur, 3% of people. They're actually, so far, 1,500 people are psychotic enough to vote for Cenk Uygur. This is the news of the night. This is the news of the night, that there are 1,500 people that need serious psychiatric help in the state of Texas that voted for Cenk Uygur. And Cenk Uygur, wow, Cenk Uygur can now say, if the results continue, Cenk Uygur could say, with the millions upon millions that Dean Phillips has been spending, that he beat Dean Phillips. That's impressive. Okay, Cenk from TYT Network, yes, in a non-native form. Yeah, guys, if you don't know who Cenk Uygur is, he's this kind of blowhard pundit. He has the Young Turks, which is probably the most famous left progressive YouTube. They were the original. They were like the first YouTube and had their own separate television network as well. So I respect him a lot, but he's such a blowhard. And he was born in Turkey, so he's trying to say he can still run for president. But Cenk is, believe me, this guy, Cenk, if you know Cenk, he will not shut the hell up about doing better than Dean Phillips. So this is a fascinating result. Marianne Williamson, pretty respect. Marianne Williamson, dude, keeps beating Dean Phillips. Marianne Williamson keeps kicking Dean Phillips' ass. And Dean Phillips, I would just confirm the numbers, Dean Phillips outspent her 15-1. And Marianne Williamson, each and every time, is in second place. Guy, I mean, if I'm looking at these results, these are bad, obviously, for anybody. But not that bad for Marianne, for somebody who suspended the campaign and is now in second place and is getting 10% in one of the states. Not bad. She's having the best night that she's had in the entire primary season. So yeah, classy. Interesting about Williamson versus. It is fascinating because I like Dean Phillips too. I really do, and I thought he was dynamic and but he never caught fire. And I think one of the reasons is Marianne Williamson was more of an authentic progressive, and Phillips kept switching his position. No media coverage, cooking and camping for hope. Right. No media coverage for Marianne Williamson. Dean Phillips got a lot more coverage. Dean Phillips was on Meet the Press. Marianne Williamson wasn't for this election cycle. Dean Phillips was on all the major, on CNN, Pod Save America. Marianne Williamson was not. So Phillips he didn't get much media coverage. There still was some semblance of a blackout, but he certainly got more media coverage than Marianne Williamson has been getting. So it shows that she's a pretty good quality candidate, honestly. If you want, I'm the only one that's paying attention to the Democratic primary, but you have to kind of read the tea leaves. And it's not just who won and who lost, but it's who won by how much, what were the expectations, all of that. They were scared of her policies. Yeah, no shit they were. Gaza, man. Ceasefire. Of course they were scared of her policies. All right, now we have a moment. I might look in the menu. 85% of the vote for a senile guy who can't speak or walk. Yeah, not great. Not great. Well, there's Marianne Williamson, so maybe they should all vote for her. Okay, guys, I think I might have my menu. Do I have my menu? Because I'm going to get the dog a burger. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at what I can get to eat. You'll have to watch me eat. I haven't eaten all day because I picked up the dog, got back from Chicago. But we'll take a look at some other results while I'm doing that. Oh, here's interesting news, guys. Politico, Kirsten Sinema, just in, not running for re-election. So that is an interesting additional Super Tuesday surprise. Kirsten Sinema not running for re-election. When I worked in Yuma, Arizona, I was following the Senate race, obviously. And they had just finished it. So one of them had just won. If they get a banana, get a banana. They're good, super good for dogs. Thank you. I'll get the banana. That's cool. Yes, we have no bananas. So Sinema not running for re-election. That actually is very big news. I think with her not running for re-election, that very much helps Ruben Gallego, who's running against Carrie Lake. So before it might have been competitive because she was going to take away some of those Democrats. But now I don't think that's the case at all. And I just got a text from Trump. Ooh, text from Trump. Victory is our ultimate revenge, says this text message from Trump. Be the first person to read my Super Tuesday memo. You want to read Trump's memo, guys? Read Trump's memo. Alert, victory is our ultimate revenge. We achieved our greatest victory to date, and I have just 2 words for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He goes on, victory over the corrupt cabal that has captured our nation will be our ultimate revenge. Man, get over yourself. And I only have you to thank for how far we've gone. It's this revenge shit, man. Trump is having a great night, and he keeps shooting himself in the foot. This is his first message because I'm signed up for his alerts because I've gone to his rallies. Dude, this is his first message after it looks like he's doing very well. I'll be addressing the nation shortly. Guys, I'm going to flip to the screen to see when he addresses the I have to get, they don't have a goddamn channel list here. I'm in a hotel. I'm trying to find like CNN's or Fox or whatever so I could stay on it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the Trump attempt at imitating his voice. It's hard. I think I could do David Miscavige better, but I'm glad you like it. I'm trying to find any of the cable news stations on the TV over here, so I could see when he's coming in, so we could all watch that together. That's when I'll order food when they're giving a speech, probably, because we'll listen to the speech. But we'll see. Thank you for bearing. Okay, here's I'm looking at a program guide. Anybody ever still watch TV? I wonder who the hell watches TV anymore. Thank you, Bison. You're funny. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope if you're watching this, you get a little humor with your analysis. And I'm just waiting, guys, for the channels to scroll so I could see which, if they even have like CNN or MSNBC or Fox, whichever one of them. God, there's so many. Look at all these bad shows, man. Vanderpump Rules. Is her dog still alive? That annoying dog? Vanderpump Rules. Remember that? God, they still have Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Well, I'm in Atlanta, so that makes sense. Modern Family. That's a classic. Well, that's cool. There's a new Ken Burns documentary, America Story Tell. Dude, this doesn't have, I don't think this has any of the cable news channels. Night Court's on NBC. For people who are 85 years old, so you got the local Atlanta news. Well, Atlanta news might have it anyway, even though I got fired from the local news. So when I turn on local news, it gives me PTSD and I want to take my own life. So I'm trying to avoid the local news, but I might have to. There we go. MSNBC, decisions, primaries, and caucuses. Mountains of Caucasus. Primaries so white, they from the mountains of the Caucasus. All right, let's get to channel 12. Yeah, I've been watching so much YouTube. I don't really do TV. I don't do either. If I were by myself smoking a J, I'd be watching the TV. But other than that, no. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at that. But I'm looking at the TV because they'll know when, like, freaking A. And I can't see what channel I'm at. All right, I think I'm on it. I think I got, but I can't see. I'm also gonna go on YouTube, guys, to gotta love her dresses. Don't you love her? I always think Sinema's kind of cute, personally. I gotta think for her. Yeah, Y2 is pretty much news for me. I roll one load, my bong. Thank you. Every time Dodge is on. Respect. Old Night Court or New Night Court. That's a good, that must be the new one because it's so popular, I guess, right? Something like that. What are you looking at? I don't even remember, man. I was gonna look at something, but I can't remember. Cinema's distracting, I guess. Oh yeah, the speeches to see if we could see Donald Trump speak. No, not yet. God damn, what's that thing with Kelly Cuckoo and the, what is that? Big Bang Theory. I was trying to get on MSNBC and I got banged by the Big Bang Theory. Whoever found that show? I always wonder, how can somebody explain to me how the Big Bang Theory is funny? Like, does a laugh track just, if you don't actually like funny things, does a laugh track tell you what's funny because you're not smart enough to actually figure out what's funny, and because of that you watch the Big Bang Theory? I'm waiting for that explanation. Maybe we'll just watch TV together and criticize everything. I'm kidding, we'll not do that. Big Bang. Oh, Young Sheldon. God, even worse. Okay, we were on Fox, thank God. All right, so we finally found one of them. Glad you enjoyed that, V saying. So wait, they're from the Caucasus. Exactly, the Caucasus. All right. So we don't need to do YouTube. So we will need to do YouTube once they start speaking. Massachusetts. Let's take a look at this. Is helpful for the TV because they can tell me what's on and then I can directly look at it. So let's take a look at how Marianne is doing in Massachusetts against Biden. Oh, bad. They haven't called it. So Massachusetts right now, Trump is. I wish we could see a map because I've been all around the continent, so I know a lot about Massachusetts. I hope there's a map here. Yes, there is. Okay. How much? Okay. So Boston, once Boston comes in, guys, I bet Haley's going to win Massachusetts. So it's a very small thing, and they haven't called it. Right now, Trump is way ahead of her. Not even early. Oh, wow. Look at this. This just changed. Right before Trump was way ahead. Now Haley is winning. So Haley, actually not a bad night for Nikki Haley. This is Massachusetts, guys. They haven't called it. And we will be looking at Boston and Springfield. And Worcester's a little more. Worcester's like an industrial city, almost like Buffalo. Oh, hey, hello, MA. Very cool. Crazy. I live in Pittsfield. I know Pittsfield very well in the Berkshires. I went to Camp Wesley in Great Barrington. So very close. Pittsfield is a big city. Pittsfield has a very good Kennedy Fried Chicken. Pittsfield is like you're in the rural Berkshires and you need to get Kennedy Fried Chicken. You can go to Pittsfield. So that's very cool. Small. I was also going to say we will take a look at Pittsfield and the Berkshires because the Berkshires is also, Massachusetts is generally progressive, but there's certainly more conservative areas like on the coast, central Massachusetts, that are more conservative than the western part of Massachusetts, as well as Boston, as well as Springfield. Worcester is a little more kind of down and out and kind of snarling working class, which is more Trump. You could think like Cleveland. Worcester's more like Cleveland or Buffalo. And Springfield is more like, I had to think of something for Jersey City. Springfield sort of be like Jersey City in a way. I work at Hot Harry's Burrito. I think I've eaten there. Very cool. I'm a conservative trapped in a Democratic state. Yes, you are, MA. So we'll take a look at some of these How they doing in spring? Have they done Springfield? No. So once they do Springfield, Haley's going to kick Trump's ass probably. Boston. Wow. Well, all eyes in Massachusetts, guys. We're going to watch Massachusetts all night because Haley has to say she'll win a state. But we're looking at the map. There's very little in, obviously. Let's see what else. Virginia. I was looking at Virginia. So NBC News, guys, has the maps. And we'll take a look at Massachusetts. We're going to take a look at Massachusetts for the Democrats. So we'll take a look at Virginia and the map and see how badly Haley's doing. Here's Virginia, guys. Let's see what percentage. So remember, Haley really wants to get above 45%, which is coming close to impossible now. Haley wants to get above 45% in the state of Virginia. So let's take a look at what Virginia has to offer. Pretty much all filled out there. Richmond. So this is good. Haley could do well because only 7% of Richmond is in, and Richmond is one of the bigger cities. Virginia Beach is bigger than Richmond, and Virginia Beach might be more conservative because it's further away from D.C., but Haley might get that 40% after all if bigger numbers come in from Richmond. And, of course, we want to do all the D.C. areas, which is right here. 5%. So, again, let's look at where Trump is doing well. This is all rural Virginia. So these numbers are going to flip, guys. Look, there's 56% of Pulaski County. There's very rural area in Pulaski. This is where almost feeds into West Virginia. So Trump is looking good really early on because the numbers of the D.C. suburbs, this is only 5%. Loudoun, Trump is doing much better than he should in Loudoun, though. So that's interesting. Generally, though, without Loudoun County, well, no, but so I'm going to change my narrative. Haley might be doing badly because Trump is dominating in the D.C. suburbs. Frederick is still the suburbs of D.C. This is looking really bad. This is 85%. This is the suburbs of D.C. Loudoun County, man, is a little more rural, but Haley should be winning Loudoun. It's close. D.C., only 5%. So again, Haley's getting 60%. If Haley continues to get 60% in D.C., she might be able to pull off 45% of the vote. But again, it is still looking better for Haley because here in all the rural counties, as you can see, Weath has Weathville, a beautiful little place in the mountain, Greyhound stop. 88% is in there. So obviously their population is disproportionate to the population that belongs in Richmond. Let's see how she's doing in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach, as I'm not surprised, 40%. Trump is dominating Haley. And Newport News, Chesapeake. Haley should be doing better in Chesapeake. Chesapeake, a lot of people have their country homes. Remember, Haley did very well in New Hampshire and Portsmouth. Portsmouth was on the ocean. That was kind of a rich person's resort place away from Boston. Rich people from Boston go to Portsmouth. They all voted for Nikki Haley. You'd think in Chesapeake, close to the ocean, it would be the same thing. It is not. Trump is doing very well. Eastern Shore, I used to live here. Accomack, tiny little county. Of course, Trump gets 80% of the vote. And we took a look at Virginia Beach, York, all that. Cool. What do you think of the Massachusetts wealth tax? That's an interesting question. I'm sure they'll disagree with you on that. My neighbor says, just say no, Joe and the hoe. People are getting a little inappropriate with it. It did make me laugh. Wesley, I think it's a giant mess of what makes the grass grow green, all of it. What was the Tea Party for? Good point. All taxes going to illegals, not backing anything we have to do with Americans. His other signs depict Calvin pissing on Pelosi. Stay classy and relevant. Well, stay classy, but I'll let you guys make the nasty jokes. And nasty jokes have a place as well in this live stream. So Joe and the Hoe, they're big on that. The Joe and the Hoe is a big thing. Big thing. Joe and the Hoe. They keep saying that. I love how Martha's Vineyards reacted to immigrants showing up. Well, all right. I'm going to say something about the Martha's Vineyards immigrants showing up. What happened is there's actually a team of lawyers who met them and actually got them the care that they needed. And it is funny that everybody says, oh, these rich white liberals are going to be so offended. They actually weren't. They used their connections to actually help these people. So it's kind of the narrative. I'd look into that narrative a little more. And see what actually happened, but still point taken. And that wasn't the case in other wealthy cities. where they certainly did not want immigrants in there. So we're going to take a look at the Texas Democratic primary. %31% reporting. Marianne got Armando Perez Serrato. Let's see who the hell this guy is. Congratulations to Armando Perez Serrato for getting 1% of the vote. This guy, he's running for president. Wow. He seems like a qualified young man. All right, yes, you are in Texas. Bison, did you vote for the very sexy Armando Perez Serrato? Serrato is getting 1.5 thousand people. Ha! Armando Perez Serrato is beating Cenk Uygur. Guys, Cenk Uygur before was beating Dean Phillips. Cenk Uygur before was beating Marianne Williamson. Now Cenk Uygur is so pathetic that the random Armando Perez Serrato is defeating Cenk Uygur. Again, I repeat, Armando Perez Serrato is kicking Cenk Uyghur's ass. This random dude. This dude is getting more votes than Cenk Uygur. I mean, look at this. Look at this website, guys. He's also running for a California governor. He's running for two things at once. I mean, this guy is pretty impressive. Poor Cenk, I know, right? It's a little sad. It's kind of fun to make fun of Cenk Uygur, though. Yeah, the Texas results on the Democratic side is so interesting. Let's go back and take a look again. Gabriel Cornejo, he's doing better than Gabriel. Starlock. Don't you like looking at some of these people just for shits and giggles? I like him. Starlock, he's in second to last place. I like his shirt. He is single, ladies. FYI. Oh, you can't see that. Oh, I clicked it and opened up a new thing. Sorry. Marianne continuing to do well. 12,000 people, 4% voting for her. Not bad. And she's again continuing to beat Dean Phillips by a comfortable 1% margin. He's kind of old. Lol. Meanwhile, Muslims run a free and reduced medical clinic. Well, healthcare is always nice, I suppose. Virginia. Wow, and Williamson, 8% now. Let's take a look at Virginia again. %. God, Williamson is kicking Dean Phillips' ass, dude. Biden, obviously, he crushed it. But still, 89%. Marianne Williamson almost at 8%. Dude, she's got a real impetus to stay in. I'm analyzing this objectively. Sorry, my voice keeps cracking. I was screaming yesterday or 2 days ago at the protest. As long as she beats Dean Phillips every time, I'm happy. That is guaranteed. She's guaranteed to beat Dean Phillips every time. Let's take a look at the Senate primary. See if Colin Allred probably won, but Colin Allred was a foosball player. He played foosball for the Dallas Cowgirls. So 70%, yeah, and he's beating Roland Gutierrez there's nothing else to look at. But yeah, so again, Colin Allred, a foosball player for the Dallas Cowgirls. He is the nominee against Ted Cruz. Very cool. Allred is running. And he is, as my foosball jokes aside, was he Dallas Cowboys or is he, I don't know anything about sports. Raiders, Oakland, Houston, Oakland Raiders, Houston has a football team, don't they? God, I know nothing. Houston Astros? Whatever. As the great Dodge man once says, these streams are a safe place for abusers. Abuse away. Precisely. This is not a safe. This is a safe space for terrorism. My stream. My stream is a safe space for violence, vitriol, and terrorism and hate crimes and hate speech and death threats. That's what my stream is a safe haven for. You will not be safe from any of it, but you are safe to do those things on my stream. Texans, Bison just saying, them Texans. Texan going Texas. I used to live in Midland, Texas, and Midland. Permian Basin, peanut butter and jelly, Texas. Horrible place. Other parts of Texas is very nice. I like Eastern Texas better because they have more trees. It's unique, man. Thank you, M/A. I appreciate it. I'm digging it. Yeah. I don't think you get somebody who's a sort of quasi comedian talking to this. I'm looking for Tennessee guys. Another primary where they would not let people in. Ooh, let's take a look at the Haley getting her ass kicked in Tennessee. Let's take a look at that. And we'll take a look at to see how, well, we already know how Marianne's doing. She can't be on the ballot in Tennessee because the fix is in. There's not much to analyze here. Really bad. Guys, she's having a bad night, man. I think we can officially say this at 8:30. My guess is Haley drops out after this, but we will be here together holding hands in a circle jerk to watch her speech. Trump is at 78%, and Nikki is at 19. That's very bad, although she wasn't expected to. Houston Astros baseball. Yes, Houston Texans. Yes, exactly. Yes, ouch is a good way to put it. Damn, why does my hotel not have a menu? I'm trying to get food, guys. Bear with me. I'll still talk to you. I'll still hold you like a baby. But I have to look for a menu. Hey, I just want to get room service if possible. Cool. Can I get a bacon cheeseburger medium rare, please? Yeah. Yeah. Fries sound good, please. Yeah. Yes, please. And do you guys have chicken wings? Cool. And if I get an order of chicken wings as well, please. I can't find your menu, so good question. Oh, there is. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, at this point, okay. Do you have like a mild? Cool. Perfect. Thank you. And then if I get a Diet Coke as well. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be it. Awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, guys, order my food. I haven't gotten room service in like 4 years. Too late. Sweet tea. I'm in Atlanta, so they actually do have good sweet tea. Guy's one of those people with a massive high IQ, therefore likes to be on his own because he's too smart for the BS that comes along with other people. Thank you. He's different in the best way. Who are you talking about? Order alcohol. You want me to get drunk? Maybe. I'll either get drunk or high as this night wears. I mean, I could get both. I usually don't ever. I don't know. Can you guys hear me ordering? I'm taking a look at some of these other stream comments if I can. I hate my computer, though, because I can't. There we go. Taking a look at some of these comments, but I can't. I'm trying to scroll down to see the comments, guys, but I'm stupid at computers. Can you be a president in jail? She ain't going to drop out. I figured that's what she was thinking. Well, MA, I don't know if you're talking about me or not, but if me, thank you. That's very kind. And I do love being alone, so that would make sense. But maybe just talk it out of my bum hole. All right, let's see. Tennessee. Anything else we have to look at? We'll take another look at Texas to see if any results have updated. Oh, God. My voice is about to die. Take a look. Out 74%. I don't think he can bounce back from that one. And with a lot of the cities already in. Galveston, oh Galveston, I could hear your sea waves crashing. Bum, bum, bum. Got my ass kicked in Galveston. Boom. I just lost in Galveston. I just got a big ass kicking. Bum, bum, bum. So, Galveston getting her ass kicked. Houston, 77% Donald Trump to Nikki Haley. Let's see. Does Nikki Haley have any signs of life in Austin? You think she would? A little more, but Trump, 59% with a third of the vote in Austin. Dude, Austin, the fact that Nikki Haley is doing this shitty in Austin, like, is really bad. Like, Nikki Haley should be doing much better in Austin. This is honestly, guys, like, this is going to be representative of Nikki Haley's strongest votes, because she's going to constantly hope for very hard left cities in some of these Super Tuesday states to go for her. And that's not what's happening. It's like she's not thinking about the industrial cities. They're gone. But she's at least thinking about the highly college educated, highly left, highly liberal. But right now, with 35% of the vote, Trump is beating her in, well, Travis County, so there's stuff outside of Austin, but still. San Antonio, even worse, man. Corpus, they're going to hate her. Yeah, I bet they hate her in Corpus. El Paso, she'll probably end up doing well in El Paso, is my guess. But that has 600,000 people. Hey, Mark Chevy. Hey, Dodge, I met you at my chip truck in Northern Ontario. Yes. Thank you, Mark Chevy. I feel bad I never put your footage up. I never continued with that. My dog got sick. He got cancer. So I never, I travel all across the continent, guys. And I met Mark at his Great Canadian Chip Truck, I believe. I met him in rural Ontario. I want to say it's Kenora. I can't remember. I was driving from somewhere in Ontario to somewhere else in Ontario. I was driving from Thunder Bay to Sault Ste. Marie? Maybe. I can't remember. Thank you, V Sing. I can't sing. I do like to sing. But yeah, I had a great conversation with Mark, a conservative in Canada. One of the reasons I wanted to do that YouTube stuff. And Mark, I'd love to come back, because I'll be coming back that way. And Iron Bridge. Yes, you meant Iron Bridge. Yes, Iron Bridge. Exactly. But Mark, I'll connect with you. I'm going to go to Canada 2025 when the election comes in. So, hey, if you want to drop me maybe your email or something here in the chat, or drop me an email. It's just my name, Dodge, DODGE.LANDESMAN @gmail.com. I'd love to interview you, because I'm going to, in 2025, I'm going to go to Canada and go to many provinces and look at the rallies. And I think Trudeau is how you actually say it for the Anglican Canadians, and Trudeau is the French Canadian. I think Trudeau might lose, because Pierre, hard to say his name, man. I can never, Pierre fucking Pierre Olivier, whatever, fucking Pierre. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to take a photo of that. Crazy Chevy's Tiny Shop. Thank you. But yeah, Pierre has a good shot, because I think he's a lot more vocal and a lot more ballsy than either O'Toole, who ran against Trudeau last time, or Scheer, who ran against Trudeau last time. But and he's a lot more conservative. Both of them, I mean, O'Toole really messed up by not really supporting the Canadian convoy. And so he came off as this kind of Mitt Romney type conservative, which everybody says, well, Canada's more liberal and they support somebody like that, but not necessarily. Although I will say that Trudeau, like Hillary Clinton, unlike Hillary Clinton, Trudeau lost the popular vote twice. So Trudeau the first time in 2015 got more votes than Stephen Harper, who was a conservative, who's the incumbent. But then the next election, Andrew Scheer beat him in the popular vote, and then Aaron O'Toole also beat him in the popular vote. But there's a big tug of war in Canada in terms of what wing. Is it the more conservative Trump-aligned wing with the conservatives, or is it the country club Mitt Romney type Republicans who are known as the ethos of the Conservative Party in the nation of Canada. And right now, so we're going to Canada to really uncover that, because Canada's fat. You cannot understand the United States unless you understand the immigration patterns and the politics and the feelings of Canada, because it answers a lot of questions. It answers, well, what if there wasn't this policy, there wasn't this type of healthcare, et cetera, but it had, it's geographically similar, it's close, it has a similar amount of industries, et cetera, et cetera. So they're great. Justin Castro is evil. I think he, I wish he were Castro's son. I don't think he has the balls to be Castro's son. And he looks like his dad, who's a lot uglier. So I don't know, but they think. Are you there to check in on Fanny? I mean, it seems like you get one date with Fanny and you get a lot out of it. So yeah, I'm swiping and I'm hoping that she appears in my Tinder feed. Fannie Willis, where are you at? Waiting for you to appear in my Tinder feed, because I don't like a challenge. All right, let's see. We're going to take a look at any other results, see what's happening. Arkansas, let's look at that. Arkansas, I just love old Arkansas. Love my ma, love my pa, but I just love old Arkansas. Someday when the money's such, I'd like to see the world and all, and take a run through Arkansas. Roger Miller. Okay. Ooh, crushing her, unsurprisingly. Only 2%, but we know who's going to win there. 73% to 21%. Asa Hutchinson. Remember little Ada Hutchinson? Ada Hutchinson. That's what Trump called her. Asa Hutchinson. People admire their little Asa. Getting 3% of the vote. Ada Hutchinson at 3%. Special needs Ada. Still at 3%. So congratulations to Ada with the special needs. Very cool. Let's take a look at the Democratic primary. Marianne getting 3%. Well, this is not much. This is only 3% of the vote. The big competition, there's no Cenk. Bummer. I wish Cenk were on every ballot so I could laugh at him. But oh well. You fucked up, bro. Fannie Willis. Yeah, didn't I say that? Oh well, who knows? You guys are turning on the air conditioning for my dog. Give me a minute. The dog hates me right now. Hello, Clevis. Hello, Clevis. Just pet my dog, guys. All right, guys. I might move to the bed because I think my dog wants to hang out. So we might migrate a little bit. Hey, you want to come to bed? You come in the bed? No, we're not going out. Sorry, we're coming to bed though. You want to come to bed? There you go. Cool. Let's see if we can get him. He says hi. Now he's a lot happier. He's chilling on the floor. I guess chill with me. He's in a better mood. He's a licker. Hey, name. Harry says hi. He says hi back. He says if I weren't a dumb dog and could understand a single thing, I'd say hi back, but I'm really stupid, so I can't. Free the dog. I know. I'm going to take him for a walk after this. Don't worry. But he was just walking. We're staying near a golf course, which I specifically chose so he could have a lot of walking, and he's chased some deer and stuff. So I think he's doing all right. I think he'll survive. Let's see. It's right there. He likes to lick his own balls. It's a very attractive quality. Vermont, just Haley's still winning. Arkansas. Virginia, Marianne getting 8% still. So, again, very good numbers for Marianne. I guess you just have him in the shot the whole time. Why not? And let's see, Alabama. We take the Alabama Democratic primary. Let's take a look at the Alabama. Favorite co-star. Thank you. He's a good co-star. Alabama Democratic primary. Alabama. So Alabama's interesting. Alabama, they're Marianne Williamson. They wouldn't let Marianne Williamson on the ballot, but Dean Phillips is on the ballot. So Dean Phillips has about 5%. Take a look at Alabama. If I'm not stupid. Yeah. So Dean Phillips has about 5% of the vote, give or take. What do you think? Dean Phillips or Marianne? Do you even give a shit? Dude, did you vote for Trump? Dude, I think you voted for Trump. That's all right. Even though he's Mexican. He's a Mexican dog. I found him in the nation of Mexico. Do you think he's fat? Some people say he's too fat. He probably is. He always licks me. Nonstop. He's got a problem. He's got a fellatio problem. It's not good. All right, let's see. Sorry, I just revealed my pajamas. But I'm in a hotel, so that makes sense. Let's see what else. Does he bark in Spanish? No lo sé. Bueno preguntar. Tal vez, maybe. He doesn't bark that much. He will bark, though. If he sees like a squirrel or something, he will bark. But Dean Phillips, without Marianne, Dean Phillips is doing kind of okay. What else there is? Guys, we might end streaming probably around 9, not 9, around 10 p.m. because I think we probably know most of the results. But we still Oklahoma. All right, so there's something in Oklahoma now. Dean Phillips did pretty respectable. So we'll take a look at the Oklahoma Democratic primary. Oklahoma, where the wind comes riding in the rain, and it sounds sweet, like the lazy circles in the land. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And then I say, yes, you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma. Whenever I sing, he likes to. Trump is kicking butt. You're right. Whenever I sing, he likes to lick me. So let's take a look at. Okay, so Dean Phillips has his first second place. Dean Phillips has his first, so far, second place finish in Oklahoma with about, how much did that say? Reporting, with about 23% reporting. So we might get some different numbers in as the results go on, but probably not too dramatically different. I'd say the numbers can shift anywhere from 5 to 11 points. So Joe Biden is at, okay, you can hang out there. Joe Biden is at 70. He's making himself comfortable, as you can see. What up? Okay, hold on. You get yourself. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna. Don't worry. I'll let you get comfortable. Don't worry. Yeesh. You can see how my dog tries to settle in. It's a very complicated process. Now he wants me to lie down, so I hope you don't mind me lying down. But he demands that I lie down and pet him. Why don't if you're going to interrupt, why don't you just do this analysis, huh? You think this isn't important? You think you're better than me? Huh? You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? I'm going to kill you. Nah, I'm kidding. I just lost all my subscribers. Cool. All right, well, we'll continue. I'll take a look at some of these results. I don't think he's not looking at me. Are you done? You don't. I guess you're good. Okay, cool. I guess I don't think we can both be in the shop, but that's okay. Trump's numbers in Oklahoma. Yeah, so let's take a look at that. And take a look at this split screen. And see what's up. Yeah, so let's look at the GOP primary, guys. They're probably, yeah, I mean, it's a bloodbath for Nikki Haley. She has no impetus to continue running. Maine, oh shit, man. Right, I'm looking at Maine. We'll take a look at that next. Trump, remember, Haley was supposed to do reasonably well in Maine. Northeast state, small, 70% so far for Trump. This is a blood. Haley's doing worse than, ow. Ooh, not far from a third of the vote reporting, 27%. Trump at almost 83. Haley at 15. Dude, this is a blood. See, it's bad for worse. It's like the bad states for Trump. That means Trump is going to get 65%. If it's a good state for Trump, that means Trump is going to get 75 to 80%. That's what the direction of this entire primary, I think, is going to turn into very clearly. God, I hope one of them speaks so I can eat, but we'll see. Joe Biden's probably sawing logs like he always is. No, come on, Marianne. Come on, Marianne. It's a Four Seasons song. Just cooking camp from hope. I like it. No, come on, Marianne. We have to beat Dean Phillips. She look, cooking and camping for hope. It's literally one state, and she is kicking Dean Phillips' ass everywhere else. So I'm not going to change my opinion that clearly the most viable alternative to Biden is Marianne Williamson, and she's proven that by coming in, beating Dean Phillips. And so far, we're looking at 5 states, and so far, 4 out of 5, she is beating Dean Phillips. So Haley is a warmonger. No one wants her. That's a fair question. That's a fair assessment. You know, but it's an interesting stuff with the war. I think you're right because of the Ukraine stuff, and you can see where she's being backed. But it's like she was also Trump's UN person, right? So then wouldn't she sort of have the same foreign policies as Trump? Everybody says she was so liberal, but I'm like, well, she had the same foreign policies as Trump because Nikki Haley couldn't get laid in Maine. Hey, she could with me. I would have a very nice romantic weekend with Nikki Haley if I were in Maine. Believe I'd put out all the stops. So speak for yourself, my friend. We do. I mean, it would be all night long. I've dreamed about this extensively. Me and Nikki Haley in some romantic setting. Because I know she'd be like high class. You'd have to put out all the stops. So yeah, all right. I'm going to try to take Nikki Haley to Maine. No Biden to BNBZ. There's no shame in your game, bro. Thank you. I do have no shame. Although I think Marianne Williamson is cuter, but they're both into them. My age range is 18 to 60. All right, let's take a look at Vermont. Oh man, Vermont is like Nikki Haley is so hoping that she at least wins Vermont. She'll say, we won one state. We can still do this, guys. Right now, let's look at Vermont. Let's look at the map of Vermont to see if Burlington has come in or not. If Burlington hasn't come in, Nikki Haley is screwed. She's fucked. If Burlington is not, Burlington, what are we looking at? That's it. See, Burlington would have been the most liberal area by a mile. She's not. She's getting 60%, but it's been counted. And Burlington disproportionately has the population in Vermont. So once you lose Burlington, once you have Burlington and you're still losing, you've lost Vermont. Nikki Haley has lost the most liberal state in this entire primary election. She was hoping that she'd win, and she is not. I think she's going to end up losing Vermont. This is a bloodbath in real time, dude. I wonder where she is tonight. I don't even know. None of them are speaking, which is weird. It's like already 9 p.m. She done. Anna, look, Anna, I like Haley. So like you're hearing it from me. Like I don't dislike her. And so, if I'm saying this, I'm being objective. I'm not like biased towards Trump. Haley is completely done, and she probably is crying in a corner. Objectively speaking, Haley, I could stop the stream right now because we already know I'm not going to because it's fun to watch with all of you guys. But this is so bad for Haley, dude. She's only cracking she's not cracking, dude. 3% of Massachusetts is coming in. She's not cracking 40% in Massachusetts. Like, this is, I thought that at least some liberal states would come through for her. They don't. Cenk couldn't win a kebab. Yes, at least she's not Cenk Uygur. I mean, Nikki Haley, you're screwed and you have no future in anything, but at least you're not Cenk. So take solace. I think everybody should take solace in the fact that they're not Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur couldn't win a kebab, but I'm sure he still eats them. I bet. Let's see if there are any other results coming in. Let's see if some of the general narratives are. Sorry, guys, I'm going to blow a snot bubble. Ugh, I'm sick. So Trump wins everything. Trump wins Arkansas. Trump wins Alabama. Trump wins Maine. Trump wins Oklahoma. Trump wins Tennessee. Trump wins North Carolina. Trump wins Virginia. And, of course, Biden wins Virginia. That sign did not do much. Trump can't stop it. Yeah, dude, Trump with the whole revenge shit, the messaging is interesting because with the whole revenge shit, it's like, why? If you're doing this well against her, why do you feel the need to come off as an asshole? She's gone crazy, Trump has said. This is just in. Oh, so this is when he just called in Mark Levine. Mark Levine, who sounds like this, get off my phone. Mark Levine. Yeah, Anna Rivera, Scientology is indeed a cult. I don't know if you're a fan of mine through the political stuff or through the Scientology stuff, but I was a reporter who fought against them. That's interesting. Cruz is only 88% of the primary vote against some random dude named Gibson. So congratulations to Gibson. Let's see if there's anything else. What up? He wants to weigh in. He has something to say. What do you think? Are you voting for Haley? You voting for Haley? You voting for Haley? Oh, cool. Thank you, Anna. That's how you found me. That makes sense. He has no opinion on this election, and sometimes I wonder, like, why did I choose him? He can't even tell me anything about Super Tuesday. He's useless. Very cool, Anna. Scientology. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy this as the political coverage. But yeah, guys, I'm thinking we'll probably call it a day at 10:30 because it's like, I don't know what more, and I'm going to have to walk my dog too, but I already have the general narrative the entire night. The general narrative is that it doesn't look like Haley is going to win a state. She might win one. She needed to win at least 2 or 3 for her to have some sort of impetus to say that she is fighting until Georgia. Georgia is in, I think, a week from now. And of course, if she fights until Georgia, I will be there to cover it, obviously. Name said it's been rough tonight. Precisely, it has been. Good way to put it. But yeah, she needed to. Maine, man, again, I'm looking at these results that Fox has. Bad. 75% for Trump. Massachusetts, Biden got only 80% of the vote, but nobody could get on the ballot in Massachusetts. God, Trump's still winning, but it's only 3% in, so hard to say. I don't know of one politician that's not corrupt. I mean, yeah, they're all hacks. I agree. We're in agreement on that. This is like the anti-politician stream, I would say. But yeah, we'll be on this together probably until the speeches come in, because the speeches are hard to watch because they're carried on cable TV. They're harder to find on YouTube. I wonder, tell me how well you can see this for testing out the speeches. This hotel is a really big TV. I wonder if you could just watch it on the TV. Just for when we have speeches. Who knows? Well, we'll take a look and see. Marianne Williamson motto is disrupt the corrupt. Yes. And she is not doing badly tonight, actually, all things considered. Oklahoma, man, 42% in, 83% now. Trump is at 83% in Oklahoma. So the Trump-friendly states, it's not that Trump is getting 70% of the vote or 65. He's getting 80 to 85% of the vote. It just looks horrific. I mean, there's no other word than horrific, because there is respectable. Respectable would be she gets 40% in a lot of these states, wins 2. And in her really bad states, she gets 25. She's getting 20 to 15 in her really bad states. So if you're looking at this from a pundit, and I ask you to look at it from a pundit's perspective, because the donors will be following what the pundits say. The donors will be looking at the pundits and asking, does she have some impetus for saying, does she at least have a verbal argument? Does she have some sign of life for saying in? No. My guess is Haley drops out tonight. I'm predicting it here. I'm predicting that tonight Haley drops out. How can you not, dude? Vermont, too close to call, 47%. Trump, 48%. Haley at 47. We're looking at delegate count, 297. Trump, 43. Haley. Just bad, dude. I got food. We got food. How you doing? Is there a way to add tip? ¿Es procesando con la propina o no? ¿Con la propina en la tarjeta? En un momento tengo una cambiar para la propina. Oh, sorry, I thought you spoke Spanish. Yeah, can you add like a tip on the card or anything, or no? Oh, cool. Do you have that, or? Oh, okay. Then I'll get some changes to tip. Then it's different. Oh, is it automatic? Is it tip added as well, or no? No. Okay. Yeah. Let me get some change for tip then. Yeah. Shit. I don't even have anything. Fuck. Alright, well, there's nothing. Sorry about all the quarters, better than nothing, but I thought I could write it down. But I'll make sure to add some for the bill. Thank you. All right, guys, I got food. Yes, time for the burger. But watch as he eats. Thanks, guys, for taking. Most of you stuck with me. Thank you. All right. I just spilled half of my food. Great. But watch, like, how spoiled he is. Look at this bacon. He has a weird thing where you have to leave the food on the floor, and it's like he'll get to it. And you're not even eating it. It's bacon. Now watch. I'm going to be off burger. Look, burger. Oh, he actually really likes the burger. Okay. Well, you guys are eating my burger. And now he's eating the bacon. Well, he's hungry today. All right, he's well taken care of. He eats on his time, not yours. Yes. Well, he's a stray dog, so he has some weird habits, and he thinks he always has to wait to get food. And he usually doesn't eat like this, but I can tell he's hungry because I left him alone. I paid for him to stay at somebody else's house when I flew to Chicago. And so I'll feed him burgers and steak and really unhealthy stuff. And, I don't have one. I just kind of throw on the floor. You should have a plate. Well, not my room. He eats on his time, not yours. That is true. Not much I could do. Here's more burger. He's not even eating the rest of the burger. He ate like 4 bites. But he's probably been getting dog food, so he's hungry. Well, the burger's really good. Soon, Trump speaks on Super Tuesday victories. So we'll watch that together. And of course, this is in Mar-a-Lago, unsurprisingly. Let's see if we get Trump live. Well, take a look at some. He won't speak right now. No, we'll take a look at. Wow, so Trump has officially won Massachusetts. "40 delegates. With not much in, they already know he won, which means it's going to be a very comfortable victory. Take a look at Texas again. Wow, Austin, Texas. Haley's getting 35% of the vote. That's in Austin. That's in one of the most liberal cities. Who still owns that? Owns what? I don't know. It's a bad number. Oh, Mar-a-Lago. Yes, right. For now. Right. Enjoy it while you can, eh? Enjoy it while you can. Politico says keep an eye on Vermont. Yeah, but it's one state. Who cares? That's why he said, yeah. So I think Burlington, because a lot of it was counted, but Politico's saying there's still some to come in. So crazy about Massachusetts. I thought Haley would win Massachusetts. Oh, let's try to see if we get Trump live. Let's test out the video, guys.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise here.
See how this works. So you can see this
When the gunman
as a
shot his
normal
way
video,
into Sandy
right?
Hook Elementary School on December 14th, 2012, he loaded his AR-15.
Lexi?
Yeah, and Brian, you and I talked quite a bit over the weekend too. 3 caucuses on
So this
Saturday,
is a local
the GC
news
primary
thing, which is
on
fine.
Sunday, and we had talked about some recent poll numbers in particular. And Haley still heads those polls if it comes down
Wonder what
to her
station
and,
live
and
now
Biden.
from Fox. What the hell is this? This is like a ripoff of Fox. It's not really Fox News. This is really weird. I wonder what this is.
It's been a bit of a change in recent days, though those polls have been pretty close when you look at them. So what do you make
bizarre.
of those poll numbers? And it's a question that I've been asking all night, and I think a question that many people have. That middle
Unfair comparison, but we hear it all the time from Trump voters like these here at Mar-a-Lago tonight.
Garrett Hake on the floor of the Mar-a-Lago watch party. We want to show our viewers what's going on because there's so much breaking news happening right now. We just projected the state of Texas for Donald Trump. He's already won about a half dozen states tonight Super Tuesday. That's Garrett's cam. Up here, that is the Mar-a-Lago, what we call the podium cam. We're waiting for the former president to speak. At some point in this hour, as early as the 9 o'clock hour, it could be 10 o'clock, we're not sure. But we've been told to err on the side that it might be earlier, so we're waiting for that. The other big question tonight is, what's up with Nikki Haley? What is she doing?
Take a look at some more of the results. Yeah, even the New York Times must admit, even the New York Times has to admit, Trump piling up Super Tuesday victories. Look at this. This is a straight flush. This is a map, guys. Look at this. And there's Vermont. They still don't know. Maine, again, she's expected to do well in Maine. Only hope for Haley is only 17% of the votes are in. Maybe she finishes with a respectable enough 35%. But again, she probably wanted to get 45% to even win Maine. And this is a bad sign. Well, there's no signs. We know she's getting pulverized. I don't need to say signs. We have what we need to make a narrative analysis of this and an objective one. Massachusetts was 60%. Haley is not even cracking 40 in Massachusetts. Bad. Only 5% of the vote is in. So, but he has won. So the fact that he's won means it was a pretty comfortable victory. Here's Virginia. In the state of Virginia, Donald Trump has 63% to Nikki Haley's 35%. Again, 86% of the vote. This is the result. Haley was hoping she'd get 45% to even winning Virginia. So the two hopes of Haley so far are dashed. That she'd win Virginia and that she'd win Massachusetts. So far, she is. Oh, whoops! I'm not sharing any of this with you guys. This is a special night. I got a pre-roll to light. Awesome. As soon as I'm done with Siggy. Cool. If I were inside, I'd be smoking a cigarette too, but I'll smoke one after. What is it in South Carolina? Well, I was there last time. That was the primary like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I can't even remember. Jeez. February 24th. When was that? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. 60-40. Trump got 60%. Haley, it's her home state, got 40%. So very bad numbers in South Carolina. Very, very bad. I got some wings here too. These wings look terrible. Ugh. All right. Here, have a wing. Or not. Think I give a shit? Talking to my dog. Yeah, right? All right, here's something funny. So I was covering the South Carolina results. And I was at Nikki Haley headquarters because the audience, I was at Trump's headquarters last time. And the audience was like, oh, you should go and check out Nikki Haley's. And I'm like, oh, cool. That sounds cool. And she had a public event. And I went and they threw me out because I wasn't the mainstream media, because I wasn't on their list. And I was super nice. I was interviewing everybody at Haley's event and I was saying how she was a good role model. Didn't she actually do reasonably well with all the expectations? So I was being super nice, like not being antagonistic. And these crazy paranoid people just were like, oh, you're not on the list. And they're like they're like the Scientologists. It was bizarre, dude. So yeah, and then it threw me out, so I couldn't cover it. But we had some cool interviews before I got thrown out. So that's good. Yeah. That was a scene. Now, these candidates, both of them are speaking late tonight. Well, I don't know why Trump doesn't speak right now. Colorado, that's new. Shit. Haley should have done reasonably well in Colorado. I'm sorry I'm chewing with my mouth open. 61% of the vote, Colorado, to Haley's 36. Bad. Minnesota, Haley was really wanting to look at Minnesota. Less than 1% in. Donald Trump at 75, Haley at 23. Oklahoma, 83%, crushed her. Texas, 76. 72. So let's look at these general numbers. Let's all right, here's something that's fun. How many states does Trump have under 70% of the vote? Let's look at the first one. Oh, Colorado, that's one. All right. How many states? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is a game. Out of 8, how many does Trump have under 70%? Okay. 1 out of 8 so far. I mean, 1 out of 8, he doesn't have 70%. Okay. 1 out of 8, he does. 2 out of 8, 83%. Arkansas, 73%. 3 out of 8. Tennessee, 76%. 4 out of 8. Alabama, 83%. 5 out of 8. North Carolina, again, Nikki Haley was 59% of the votes. She's wanted to do very well in North Carolina. Not even close, dude. 74%. I forget where we are. 6 out of 8. Virginia, okay, 2. 2 out of 8. Under 70. 3. 3 out of 8. 3 out of 8. Trump, only 3 out of 8 states, Trump is under 70% of the vote. Fuck that hoe. She needs to hear your covers more than you need her content. Yeah, I don't need her content that much. I didn't care. I was offended by what happened, but I'm not surprised. Well, bad numbers are around. I'm checking with the. Oh, it's Byron Donalds. That's cool. Well, he might be the vice president.
That is now.
All right. Well, let's look at some of the interesting interviews. Byron Donalds is
Congressman, I want to be clear here, though,
because
you said a lot there. Do you think the former president's
let me know if you
mugshot
can hear
appeals to black voters?
You could hear the interview. This is interesting.
Actually, I think the mugshot appealed to a lot of voters.
People
are buying it like hotcakes on T-shirts, and they also know that what's happened in Georgia has actually been a travesty of the justice system. Because you're allowed to challenge an election. There's nothing illegal about that. To bring a RICO charge as if you're dealing with the mob or you're dealing with the drug cartel is outrageous, and everybody knows it. So that mugshot has actually become a symbol of the things that people are pissed off about, namely a justice system that's too focused on politics and not focused on following the law and keeping people held accountable.
Still an open question, obviously, how general election voters in a general, are going to respond to the legal issues that the former president faces.
Byron Donalds has
you
balls
brought up
to
some
go
of
to
the
like that
political issues that you believe are at play. We were just showing in the exit polls out of Virginia, immigration, Congressman, considered the most important issue to GOP primary voters there. 37% said that is what got them out to the polls today. That's why they voted. And yet, you also are seeing some of these numbers showing some frustration, perhaps. And I talked to Biden campaign advisors about this. They believe that they have an argument to make that former President Trump helped torpedo any real meaningful change on the issue of immigration in Congress. And I'm going to interrupt myself there, Congressman, because we have another election alert here to make.
Yeah, breaking news. NBC News can project that Colorado will go in the Donald Trump win column. Again, NBC News can project that Donald Trump has now won the state of Colorado, 37 delegates at play there, with 48% of the vote. And you can see how much he garnered there. Delegates tonight, 865 at stake. Former president winning 388.
Well,
and this is the big number, 1215, Hallie, as we know, we've been saying it all night. So far, the totals of the entire primary process, Donald Trump with 664, Nikki Haley with 46.
So, Congressman Donalds, back to you, and thank you for your patience as we are making this new race call here at NBC News. But please, sir, your reaction.
See Byron Donalds.
Willie says.
Well, I think the 383 to 3, or 388 to 3 that you're already seeing, that's indicative of where our party is going. The party is uniting behind Donald Trump. And I think it's incumbent for Governor Haley and other people who want this race to continue to realize there is no path to victory. I mean, I didn't do any quick math yet, but it looks like he's already halfway to the delegate total needed to claim the nomination. That is major stuff by Super Tuesday. This race is over.
Byron Donalds, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining our special coverage. I want to get over to Jesse Kirsch on the ground in Minneapolis, who's actually with officials right now as they count ballots there. Jesse, walk us through what you're seeing.
Yes.
Some of the interviews are interesting, so I want to get to more of them. Bummer. I'm trying to watch one of their lives, guys, so we could see some interviews.
Circle this date in your calendar, March 8th, 2024. That's March 8th.
I mean, I do have paid YouTube.
There's an active war, as you well know, between Ukraine and
Russia.
Russia.
I don't hear about no Ukraine shit. To wipe your bum with the Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't exist in my mind. Ukraine is nothing. That was a bummer. They had a good interview with Byron Donalds, and it was all of 30 seconds. So we'll take a look at some more of the results instead. Let's see if they have what I resent is they have this for the Republicans, but they don't have it for the Democrats. Which you think they'd have it for both? Bison said in Colorado did not want Trump on the ballot. Well, I mean, the Secretary of State of Colorado didn't want Trump on the ballot. The people, that's a different. I mean, I'm sure the people of Denver didn't want Trump on the ballot. I'm sure the people of Grand Junction did want Trump on the ballot. So that's the scene. Cool. Where am I? Who am I? Oh, here I am. Where'd my StreamYard go? Oh, right here. Sorry, guys. Computer's freezing. There we go. I think we're back. Cool. Well, we have most of the results. Take another look at Massachusetts, see if anything's been updated. So we'll see. Just that one question to watch is, can Haley do respectably in Massachusetts? Probably not. If Trump is getting 61%, it'd be much better off if Trump's getting 55%. Bad scene all around. Look at these numbers, dude. This is North Carolina. That's baked in. That's 65% of the vote. So, Haley, when the North Carolina results came in, was probably hoping. But as I said, North Carolina, the results came in when 1% of the vote was in, which probably proved, as it does, that the margin that Trump was ahead of Nikki Haley was so lopsided that they could call it this early. So this is horrific. I mean, Haley was wanting to win North Carolina. Trump is 75% of the vote. Virginia, 88%. This is it, guys. 65% of the vote, 88% of the vote in. Once you have above 60, this is what the results pretty much are going to be. Look at this. Trump in Virginia, Haley was thought, oh, she'd win. She won D.C. Won D.C. with 60% of the vote. You think she gets Virginia? Nope, 63%. Dude, she's dropping out. Wild. Yeah, for Colorado, by the way, that Trump is back on the ballot, as you probably know. That's big news. I was waiting for Trump to speak, and then we're good. So, yeah, Colorado Supreme Court voted to keep Trump on the ballot. I'm taking a look at NBC News to see if nope, still not. I don't see why they don't interview people. Oh, well. See some other updates. See what the narrative from Politico might be. Yeah, Biden, Trump dominating Super Tuesday. Is Biden the best Dems? I mean, I think Marianne Williamson is. And she's been working hard, although she's been completely silent. So is Biden the best that Dems have to run? Absolutely not. But they want to control it. That's all they want to do. So, they're shooting themselves in the foot, sadly. Fox is saying Fannie Willis will be kicked off the case, yada, yada. Yeah, guys, now we're just waiting for the speeches. I'm seeing Nikki Haley if she's going to speak anywhere. Or even how's Marianne Williams? She guys, any of you know Marianne? If she has like any comments, that'd be cool. No, nothing on there. But they own them well. But they own the machine, so you'll see who wins. Dominion. Fear Dominion. People say like get over Dominion and the Kraken. Like I go to sleep at night and I have dreams where Dominion pins me down and violates me. And then the Kraken and Hugo Chavez show up and finish the job all over my face. So I know exactly what you're saying, Anna. All right, let's see if there is. If he's speaking, not yet. Jesus. Kanye West for president. Somebody said, oh, that's wrong chat. Tennessee, Trump 77%. Oh, wait, you're silent. So Anna says, I was watching the last election where they changed the numbers live. Well, I mean, as you get more results and more votes, numbers probably will change. Oh, well, are you in Atlanta? Yeah, I am. You sure it's a dream? I wish it weren't. I do live in northern Atlanta. Very awesome. Yeah, we're visiting here. I had to find, because I was in South Carolina. So I was driving from South Carolina. And I had to take a flight to Chicago because I wanted to protest the Scientology stuff. Atlanta was not far from South Carolina. So we're going to hang out in Atlanta for like a week. We're going to explore the Bluff and the Hood. This is probably my third time in Atlanta. Atlanta's interesting. It's very, it hates its own downtown. And Atlanta hates walking. And Atlanta hates grids. And Atlanta loves highways more than any other city. And Atlanta's parks are like surrounded by interstates. But there's some nice. Busy Bee Cafe is I'm excited to go back there. I haven't eaten there. There's an abandoned college. I wonder if it's still abandoned. But it's near Busy Bee Cafe. I remember that. But great weather. Great weather. It's been pouring all day. God, my dog kept me outside. God damn it. I'm in Marietta now. I'm seeing a friend who lives in Woodstock. She has a karaoke thing tomorrow. But so I'm staying in Marietta, and then in 2 days I'm probably going to stay in downtown Atlanta or Midtown. But you flip it, like Piedmont, like the park is like technically downtown, and the Peachtree is like Midtown, if I'm not mistaken. So it kind of throws me off, but oh well. I wonder when the hell Trump is going to speak. I guess never. Let's see if there are any interesting interviews happening. We'll take a look at this. This is interesting. I mean, she's not bad to have hanging out on your screen, is she? Here's Kristi Noem. So we'll take a look at what she has to say.
President Trump, should he claim the Republican nominee? One of them is South Dakota's governor, Kristi Noem, and she joins us now. Governor Noem, always good to see you.
Okay, thank you. Town Square.
To the degree you might want to dispense advice tonight to Nikki Haley, what would it be?
Well, I would just tell her it's never a good thing if people are voting for you only because they're against someone else. People don't know what she stands for, what she believes. She's been on both sides of many different issues, and at this point, it's time for her to get out of the race. So I would hope that she would do that for the good of the country, recognizing that the Republican Party has obviously chosen President Donald Trump as their nominee, and that it's time to really fight for this country, to fight against the policies of Joe Biden that really are wrecking every family's budget and allowing this invasion over our southern border.
Governor Noem, when you look at the results in the contest so far, Haley clocks at around 25, 30, sometimes 35, maybe 40% in her best day. Does that give you any concern about the solidity of the Republican coalition going into a general election?
No, I think she's underperforming, honestly.
I agree.
And I think she thought she would do better. She's not. It should be a reality check for her. And I think it shows that Republicans are united. And I would say that going into this election cycle, that's a very good thing. We've been in different circumstances in election cycles in the past. And it's interesting to watch tonight play out because the Super Tuesday is actually pretty boring, Major. There's not a lot going on because we all knew President Trump.
I'm looking for shit to say.
Doing just as well as we all expected him to do because we loved his policies. Every family did better when he was in the White House than they are under Joe Biden. And that's really the story is people are feeling the elevated gas prices. They can't afford their groceries. They're really wondering how this country could tank so quickly in just 3 short years.
Governor Noem, you had a meeting with the former president recently, about 2.5 hours, I'm told. Was that to discuss a possible inclusion of you on the ticket should he become the nominee?
Oh, I've known President Trump for years. You know, we worked together. I supported him in 2016 when I was in Congress. We worked on tax reform, so he covered a lot of different topics. I probably won't discuss our private conversations.
When you think about that possibly being on the ticket, you would also have to think about possibly becoming vice president, and anyone who's in that position has to think about possibly becoming president. So in that context alone, do you think a president, whether it's former President Trump or any occupant of the White House, should have what the former president has told the Supreme Court he must have, which is absolute immunity from prosecution?
Well, I never heard anybody complain, especially out of the press, when President Clinton claimed he needed immunity when Paula Jones sued him. So I think that we need to make sure that we're treating every president exactly the same and recognize that this is nothing new.
Boring.
President Trump is talking
I
about.
think her, Anna.
Governor Nome, you know that was about a civil matter that was outside the purview of the presidency itself. That's a different circumstance. I'm asking about the president itself. Should any president have absolute immunity? Because there are those who are constitutional scholars who say that would create essentially a monarchy in this country, something our founders never intended.
Our country is a republic, and President Trump has defended our freedoms and this republic for many years. I expect him to continue to be able to do that in the White House, and I'm looking forward to his return to Washington, D.C., so we really can fix this country.
When the former president talks, as he often does, about future immigration policies, he not...
Real quick, Minnesota just called 73% Trump. Minnesota. Haley wanted to win Minnesota. Minnesota, 73.6 to Nikki Haley's 24.4. Bloodbath. There's no other way to, this is, I don't know. I want to hear Nikki Haley speak. I don't know if she's going to speak. Pardon me. I hope you didn't hear that. I like Tulsi a lot. Gopher Dog. You're even talking about, yeah. I mean, I know Trump has confirmed that Tulsi's in his top like 8. I think for her to get some Democrats and some independents, for Trump to get some of those people, maybe why I should pick Tulsi. Because she's not radical in the abortion stuff. And she's not ultra MAGA on a lot of the issues that a lot of people think are kind of backwards, like abortion, like the IVF stuff. She'd be a very smart pick. I'll give you more water. I get getting more water for my dog. Tucker, yeah, I think Tucker. I have a lot to say about Tucker. Dog just ate half my wings. Man, when is Trump going to speak? I'm going to shut the stream down at some point. All right, guys. You know what, you want to see Trump speak later, cool, but I think we have the results at this point. Unless somebody says stay, I think I'm going to go out and take, well, I'm going to finish the rest of my chicken wing. But I'm going to give it 5 minutes, then I'll end the stream because these results came in swift and quick. These results came in swift, quick, and conclusively. Let's take a look at Minnesota. How about that? Oh, pardon me.
Super Tuesday.
Vermont, that tells you everything.
Here's Minnesota. Fucking uncommitted, man. Ugh, 5% in. I'm bummed out. Marianne is doing crappy. Dude, these people have to stop doing the uncommitted one. Like Marianne Williamson is literally right there. This is only 5%, but kind of some bummer news for Marianne right here. Minnesota on the GOP side, yeah. 12%. She's getting killed. All right, guys. Well, you could all look at Trump's thing on YouTube. I'm gonna shut the stream down. I think we've been here for 2 hours. It's a nice amount of time. Yes, get some rest. Saw a ton of footage from Shannon, Chicago. Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot. So yeah, I'll get some sleep. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for who knows how many people end up watching. It's always interesting to see how many it really is. It's more than I think. My guess is we probably had 100 people watching. So I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you all. Au revoir.